Hey guys, welcome to Sisters Unfiltered. Lindsey and Ashley here with our very promised episode in June, which we are waiting to the very end of June to post.
It's just funny when you get out of the rhythm and then you're like, oh, we need to post. We said we were going to do that once a month in the summer. And so we are coming in hot at the end of June.
We are. It's a, it's a busy time when all your kids are home. For me, at least, most of my kids are home. But before we go further, don't forget, like, subscribe, comment. Somebody asked us, how do they comment on...
Oh, yeah. I didn't know the answer.
I don't either.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I responded.
I think you did respond, but I can't remember what you said.
I don't know the answer. So, guys, this is technical things. If you know how to comment on, what was it she was asking on the actual podcast, like Spotify?
Or something like that.
Yeah, I don't really know either. But if anybody knows, let us know. Message us. I don't know. Maybe I need to try to comment on somebody else's. But anyways, but yeah, like, subscribe, comment. Give us thumbs up, stars. I don't know. Yeah. I don't even know what it is. But anyways, you can tell we're, it's really high on our priority list.
Yeah.
But
I've been excited, though. I had a few people say, are you guys done with the podcast for this season or this semester or session or whatever? Yeah. And I'm like, we are, but we're going to do one once a month in the summer. And it just made me happy that they missed us. They knew that we had a new one come out for a little bit.
We're busy. I feel like we are in a busy. I am definitely a lot less busy during the school year because my kids are not home. So that makes me less busy. But even today, I was like, I had a couple of Marco Polos with some friends. And I'm like, what have I been doing? Like, I haven't listened to. And I'm like, what have I been doing? And I'm like, oh, well, I just always have people with me.
Yeah.
You have a lot less of that because your kids are older. Like, meaning you have drives into Georgetown where you don't have that. I just am hardly ever in the car or without kids with me right now. Yeah. So even though they're not little, I'm not going to like Marco Polo my friend while my teenagers are sitting there.
Yeah, for sure.
So
yeah, you don't have as much alone time.
I don't have as much alone time. I think you're probably busier just in general with work and everything than I am, obviously. Yeah. But it's all good things. Yes. It's all great things. Yeah, so
it is.
Anyways.
Yeah. So we're excited. It's kind of random. Maybe we need to just call it like random summer topics. Yes. I don't know. But we were just thinking about a couple of things that have just been going on in our lives and like a couple of our friends, what are going on. And so we kind of thought about talking about swimming and teaching your kids how to swim. That's a topic that has come up with some of our friends that have like babies and toddlers. And then also we have just come out of grad season. Lindsey had back-to-back boys graduate. And we talked about that a little bit on the podcast before. And we've talked a little bit about getting your kid ready for college and that kind of thing. But we were like, oh, we should talk about, even though it's not, you'll just have to take notes and
because it's not for like another
spring. Year. But since it's fresh on our mind, it's the best time to do it because we will forget.
That's true.
Yeah.
Unless we take notes. Yeah.
So we'll jump into swimming. And what kind of made me think about it is that I have a friend that has an almost 1-year-old and she has him in the safety swimming course. Mm-hmm. And it's so cool. And I'm like, just so proud of her. I think it's so awesome. And I just love baby swimmers. Like, I think it's the cutest little thing ever when a baby will jump in the pool and swim and you're like, oh my goodness, what are they doing? And then they totally know how to do it, you know? So we were early swimmer adopters. Now I didn't take my kids to swim lessons maybe they were.
You took your kids to swim lessons?
I think at one point there was a season that my kids did swim lessons, or maybe they just did swim team. It wasn't swim lessons.
I never took my kids to swim lessons.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
But we all, so you, Kimberly, myself, we all taught our kids to swim pretty early.
Yeah. I learned that concept by watching Ashley and Jeremy teach Tyler and Blake how to swim really early. And so that was very helpful because I lived with you guys 2 different summers when they lived in West Palm Beach. Yeah. And it was just, I don't know. And I was like, what, high school?
You were in high school.
And literally it stuck with me because I was like, you know how you say, oh, I'm going to do things for my kids when you're in high school and you're like, you have no idea. I did it.
Yeah, that one you did.
I did do it. Now, my kids didn't swim as early as Ashley's did, but they swim very early.
Yeah. So there was a couple of reasons for that, I think.
Today, how old your boys were when Tyler and Blake were 18 months
probably
when they were
fully swimming.
Fully
swimming. Across the pool by themselves.
Yes.
Not like the shorter distance across the pool.
Well, there's a reason for all that.
From one side to the next.
Yes, but so Why did they swim at 18 months?
Well, one thing just really quick is I think it can be intimidating. So I do talk to a lot of young moms. I think the pool can be an intimidating thing to go take your kids to. I think that it is a lot of work, but it's just like with anything else. You put the work in early and then the payoff is great.
That's right.
Later on.
It's a very, and so I'm really big about, and I would think you would know this if you listen to our podcast, Ashley and I are very big about intentional parenting and being proactive. And that's what this is.
It is.
It is intentional and it is proactive.
Yes, because it's a lot of work at first.
It is.
You know, to get all the things together, to make sure they have everything they need, to make sure they have sunscreen
to
on,
push
to
through
swim
the crying,
diaper,
to push through the
crying,
to push through making them do something they don't want to do.
100%.
It is a lot. It's not just physical work, it's emotional work.
It is. That's right. That's exactly right. So, but I think like if you can think of the big picture, again, just with like so many other things, like let me think of the big picture of why I would be like teaching my kids how to swim really early.
Yes.
You know, so one reason that we started that, I don't even know why, because I have no idea. I do not remember how Mom and Dad taught us how to swim.
I don't know anything.
I don't
remember. And surely our kids won't remember that
I felt
either.
like I always knew how to swim.
I did.
know that's not true, but I thought that. So we lived in South Florida when Tyler and Blake were both born. So we were in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, warm all year round. So when I say that, these are a couple of factors why we decided to do this early.
Yes.
There was also bodies of water everywhere. The first house that we owned, it was like a townhouse, had a pond, lake behind it. There were a lot of intercoastal waters.
Yeah.
There was the ocean. There was just so much water around that I was like, and it was warm all year round. It was like, we just have to teach them how to swim. Just one, for safety. And we would just be there a lot. Our friends had pools.
You're just, everything is social is around a body of water, really.
Right. So I was like, we're just going to teach Tyler how to swim really early. So around probably 13, 14 months, I would say we would go to the pool earlier than that, but we really started teaching him how to swim around that age. And he did great. And by 18 months, I mean, he would jump in the pool and people would freak out thinking
he was
your
about
kid
to drown.
just jumped in the pool and he's going to drown. And then he would just swim across the pool.
Yeah.
And, so it was, I just thought, well, I mean, if Tyler can do it, then all my kids can do it.
Yeah.
Now, it gets a little bit more, you got to be a little bit more strategic when you don't live in a place that's warm all year round. But we live in Texas. It's pretty warm most of the year.
It is.
And I understand you need to have access to a pool. Like, I get all that. Like, there are factors. But I do want to encourage moms and dads, if they want to teach their kids how to swim, they most certainly can early.
No, absolutely. I mean, it is, the driving factor should be that it's actually safer for your kid to know how to swim than it's not.
Right. Well,
so really, more than anything, it should be safety. I mean, and it's just like, because I think a lot of parents are actually scared to teach their kids to swim, but you should be more scared of what could happen if they don't know how to swim.
Yeah, like that, right. Exactly.
And so it's like, well, they're scared of water. They're tentative. They're scared for me to even come. I'm like, they would never jump in water because they're too scared. You just don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Of course, nothing should be a fear-driven motivation. But I do think if you really want to think of it in a logical, an emotional way, it's actually more scary that your kid doesn't know how to swim.
Yeah.
Especially if you do live in warm climates.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think there's a lot of factors. I think you have to have access to a pool. You have to make yourself go to the pool
consistently at first. It's just a life lesson.
It is. So my kids all could swim at the age of 2.
Yeah.
So by the age of 2, at the age of 2, even Ava May, we brought her home in January. Abby Kate was not 2. She was going to be 2 that April. Ava May was already 2. I thought, we're not going to make Ava May swim or teach her her first summer home.
Yeah.
And as soon as she saw me take Abby Kate's little puddle jumper off, she wanted hers off, and both of them were swimming before the end of that summer.
Yes.
So Ava May, before she was 3, was swimming. Abby Kate was swimming. And there's also factors in it. There's a lot of people that are highly against flotation devices.
Right.
When you have multiple children, flotation devices keep you... it makes you be able to go to the pool.
We would not have been able to go to the pool if I couldn't put on the ones that didn't know how to swim yet, even though they were little.
Yeah.
Like something that if they get
were
in
to
the water,
fall in,
they're going to float.
Like we wouldn't have gone. So
Yes.
like if you're going to have that mindset, then you might as well have one child.
Yes. So we did floats, we did puddle jumpers, we did swim. What are they? Swim wings? What are they called? Water wings.
Water wings. No one calls them that.
I couldn't remember.
I know. Like, I haven't heard that word in so long.
But that's what they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, back in the day, no one does those anymore because they're really not as safe.
They aren't. And so
But-
again, you still have to be very attentive. Like even after my
Yeah.
kids were swimming 18 months old, I wasn't just like not paying attention to Tyler.
Well, actually, as a matter of fact, we did. My favorite was puddle jumpers, which
Yeah.
is like the little water wings around their arms, and then it goes around their waist.
Yes.
Because let me tell you why. Because they have to figure out how to float their butts.
yeah,
They have to kick their feet,
they have to- there's a learning curve to a puddle jumper
to a
as
puddle
well,
jumper.
yeah.
Whereas a life jacket almost drowned Micah because he was used to a puddle jumper, and a life jacket controls it will just like make you fall around and lie forward where
Yeah.
your face is in the water.
Yeah.
So you have to be you actually don't have as much control in a life jacket as you do in a puddle jumper, to me, in my
Right.
opinion.
Right.
And so you do have to be careful, even with flotation devices, because your kid can still drown with one,
Right.
like if they don't know how to use it.
And I think the big thing, what I've heard is, kids think they're used to them. So when they go by a pool and they don't have one and they just jump in,
They think they're going to float.
They're going to float. That's
Yes,
right. Exactly.
That's right. So what would you say, like, to me, like a typical day to teach my kids how to swim, and I was just having this conversation with someone the other day.
Yeah.
Is, okay, so when we had 4 kids, I was taking my 4 kids to the pool. Ashley and I lived on the same street, so we would always go to the pool together. Yes. I would bring most of them, 2 of them could swim, let's say. I'd have, Abby Kate was probably a baby, and Emery was in a puddle jumper. So she was the one that I would teach. Every time we went to the pool, which by the way, we probably went to the pool almost every day for a while.
Yes.
I would take her puddle jumper off for about 15 or 20 minutes. You start out small, blowing bubbles. You teach them how to blow bubbles in the water. Yep. Which is me blowing bubbles in the water and showing her. Yes. You teach them how to hang on to the side of the pool and kick. Yep. I told somebody the other day at my house that I learned this from someone who taught somebody how to swim. You go paddle, paddle, kick. Yeah. So that means hand, kick. Yeah. Hand, kick. Yeah. And so it teaches them the movement and the rhythm of swimming. And you do that. I would teach them paddle, paddle, kick. Then I would eventually go tiny bit away from the wall. And I'd be like, okay, paddle, paddle, kick. And then I'd push them to the wall.
Yeah.
And they would go under.
Yeah.
They're not, when you teach them at a young age, they're actually not able to just like do strokes.
Oh, no.
Or be on top of the water.
That's why I said, like,
and
we
tread
probably
water.
started teaching Tyler when he was like probably 13, 14 months. And at 18 months, he was going across the pool. I mean, you do it in these little steps.
Increments. And they're not actually, if you teach them really young like that, they're not treading water. They can't just, their breath is held by literally, they come off the wall, they swim, then they turn around, come back to the wall.
Right.
They don't know yet how to like come up for breath, but they can rescue themselves if they fall in.
Yes. Yeah.
I think sometimes people think that you taught your kid how to swim, like they could just do strokes across the pool too. I'm like, no.
They couldn't like go and be on swim team at that point.
Or go swim in an ocean without being able to get to an edge.
Right. Exactly.
Like you have to be able to like understand like the increments.
Yes. But we also did the thing where I know people probably think this is not
blow in their face.
Yeah, blow in their face.
Did.
You blow in their face, you dunk them in the water and come up, because when you blow in their face, they automatically suck in air. Dunk them under the water so they're not getting water up their nose, and then they come out, and it's just a slowly getting them used to being under the water as well, and kind of that feeling of holding your breath.
But we do that young.
Yeah, pretty young.
We start that like when they're like
pretty
6
young.
months old.
That's really young. I don't know.
Oh no, I did. I'm almost positive I did.
I probably did too. I just can't remember.
People probably think it's terrible, but they actually are fine. In having so many kids, you have some that react different than others. I did. Micah, Micah would run from me at the pool. He didn't want me making him do it. Yeah. So you have different personalities, but teaching them how to hold their breath underwater and come back up is huge. That they know how to do it and in that feeling, and then when they come up, you cheer for them.
100%.
They're crying and you're like, oh my God, you did so good. And you like clap and cheer
and then
for
you
them.
graduate from that, like going from the wall to mom, like as far as you feel like they can go, from them jumping in and swimming to you, holding them for a second. Great job. You did so good. Okay. Now you're going to swim back to the wall. Yeah. Push them off. They go back to the wall. And I don't know. And we are not professionals, by the way. Like as we talk. No. This is just kind of what we
kind
did.
of are, since we have 5 kids each.
But I'm not saying that it's a perfect way, or I'm sure a swim teacher or even my friend's class would be very different. I'm just saying this is what we did one, at that moment, I don't think I could afford swim lessons when I
But they
had
don't
little
teach
kids.
that age to swim.
Yeah.
They do not. They teach them to get used to the
Safety.
water. Well, if you do it, what our friend is
Yeah.
doing, that's different.
Yeah.
That's teaching them how to go on their
Safe.
back
Yeah.
and float
If they,
so
like,
that
fell
if they
in.
fell in the
Yeah.
water. That is safety. So that's one thing. This is not teaching, that's not teaching a kid how to actually swim necessarily.
Yeah.
And maybe it is. But my point is, if you do, I'm not talking about those even. Private lessons, obviously, I think you probably can get your kid to be taught how to swim.
Right.
Those are so expensive. We couldn't have afforded that either.
Yes.
So to me, the other option is, if you can't afford that, you take them to like a YMCA. Those people are not going to teach your kid to actually swim at the age of 2.
Right.
They're teaching them how to get used to the water.
Yes.
They're not actually teaching them physically how to swim.
Yeah.
That's why I never paid for swim lessons, because
Right.
I was like, this is pointless, because at the age of I want my kids to learn how to swim very young, and they don't teach that at that age.
Yeah.
And so for me, it wasn't worth it. Again, if you don't have access to a pool, it might be worth that.
Yes.
Also, just beware if you do this, you go a whole year without swimming, it kind of has to be retaught.
Absolutely.
And it's
Yes.
like, it's
depending on their
not-
age and
Yes.
like how long you haven't been back in the pool and that kind of thing. But then they just pick it up faster.
They pick it up faster.
because they've done it before.
Yes. And you just have to make sure fear is never something that prevents you or them
Yeah.
from actually getting in the pool and figuring it out. And sometimes that means you just make them jump in.
Yeah.
And they might cry.
And honestly,
to you, but
I mean, we didn't live by family when we had Tyler and Blake when they were little. We lived in South Florida, and I mean, my family would visit and stuff, but like sometimes it was just me taking them out. Sometimes it was Jeremy if he was off, but like then when Lindsey had her kids, we had kids at the same time, and Kimberly, and we would all go together. So like if you feel more comfortable taking someone with you, that's great, but like you could do it by yourself too.
no, Derek, not one time did he teach my kids to swim. I don't think Derek was ever there because he worked.
Right.
Just like Derek's never been to a teacher conference.
Right.
Parent teacher conference.
Right, exactly.
I mean, it's not because he's like MIA. It's because most men work normal daytime hours.
Yes.
If your husband doesn't and can come with you, that's awesome. But your point is don't let that prevent you from doing it.
Yes. It's like for the perfect timing just isn't going to happen
It's not.
consistently.
No.
It might happen
Sometimes.
on the weekend, or
Yes.
maybe after work you both work, and after work you take the kid. But I'm just saying consistently it's hard to get a perfect scenario.
Yeah.
And so I just encourage moms to, or dads, but moms to take their kids and just start teaching them how to swim. I think you'll be surprised at just their confidence builds. And honestly, my kids have always loved the water, all of them. Mm-hmm. And we also do a beach vacation every single year. And so they just all, I guess, just didn't really have a choice, to be honest.
No, and you win some, you lose some. So you're going to get out there sometimes, and it's the biggest pain in the butt. You have babies crying, you have poopy diapers.
Yes.
You have, and it feels like, why did I even come out here?
Yeah.
Kids get hurt.
It's
but
hot.
It's
You have to nurse a baby while you're out there.
I sweated so much nursing babies out in the hot sun. But I will say it's so worth it because we have a pool now. I'm sure if you've listened, you know that. We have a pool at our house. Derek always wanted a pool. In our last neighborhood where my kids learned to swim, we didn't have a pool at our house. And I was always like, I don't want a pool until my kids can swim. That's a big deal to me. So when we moved in this house, the only kicker was when we built the pool. So we didn't buy the house with a pool. So when we built it, it was winter. Mm-hmm. And my only thing and the girls are 3. I was like, if they know how to fall in the cold water, because we have a hot tub.
Yes.
And can swim up to the edge, I'm good. And accidentally, we were out there with them, but Abby Kate fell from the hot tub into the pool. She knew exactly what to do. She swam to the edge, and I was like, okay, we're good.
Yeah.
But also, at 3 years old, at this house, our girls were diving to the bottom of our 7.5 foot deep pool.
Right.
Because we had put in the work all those months before.
Yes.
And I think that is the reward in the end. And you just don't realize it on the front end.
Yeah.
You think it's just going to be so hard, and your kids cry. My kids cried.
Oh.
None of my kids were just like, yay.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like maybe one of them was a little more braver than the others and would just jump in. But Micah ran for me. After the first time I made him get in the water and dunked him, he like literally ran for me. Not
That's
dunked him, but
hilarious.
like, I don't remember. It was like
making
him do
he
something.
just got scared, or
Yeah,
whatever.
and I had to kind of build my trust back up with him. So don't think, Well, it's easy for them because their kids sound like they never cried or had issues or
Oh, no, they did.
Yes, they did.
It's like teaching them how to ride bikes.
Also,
Same
it's
thing.
an incentive. Sometimes you give an incentive.
Yeah.
I'll give you a lollipop when you get home if you'll
Yes.
try. That's okay.
We'll eat popsicles, after we're done.
Let me see you do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally, you can bribe them.
Yeah.
But guys, think of it more for the safety reason.
Yeah. Also, honestly, I had, you guys know this, 4 boys, all 2-ish years apart, so much energy. The pool in the summers saved me because we would go to the pool. They would get worn out, swimming like crazy, playing, whatever, take them home for nap time. And I was like, you know what? This is what's going to get me through these summers.
It's so true. And then you have the cutest little blonde tan boys running
yeah.
around and they're like so tired and their afternoon naps and they rest well. And
also, the pool's such a great place to meet people.
It's
a good little community of like other
is.
moms with their kids.
Except for I think we
too.
ran everybody away from our neighborhood pool.
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. No one ever came when we were there.
They probably thought we were having a play date instead of like that we were all family.
We had like 10 kids there.
Yeah.
But anyways,
big hopefully thing. That helps and encourages you guys. If you have any questions, of course, you can reach out to us and maybe we can help.
Maybe your professionals over here can help. We do a lot of things where we are not professionals, like having a podcast, but we just do it anyways. We just take the risk.
Yeah,
we just take the risk. We just see. But you
That's
do live and you learn.
That's right. So anyway, I just feel like that's been something that's kind of like I've been thinking about lately. And then let's talk about grad season. You made it through.
Made it through. My boys are different because, and I feel like you had a little bit of different, you had back-to-back grads too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Blake and Sam. Oh, Sam and Grayson.
Gray. Yeah. Had a year in between Blake and Sam.
Not Blake and Sam. Sam
Gray
and
Sam were back-to-back. And then I had a bigger gap between Tyler and Blake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
because like what I say is a little different. Like Blake and Sam, who I know, you had a year in between. They were like football players. They were like involved in the high school. And I feel like your grad seasons were much busier with them than my grad seasons with my boys.
I think just in general though, like let's talk about graduation.
Yeah.
When you graduated high school, like graduation has become the biggest. Senior year has become
it's ridiculous. Honestly,
it is.
Who the crap cares if you graduate high school?
Everyone graduates.
I mean, really and seriously, like we should be doing that for college graduation or, a PhD.
Yeah. But it has become this massive thing.
It has.
And it's like, okay, how do you balance kind of wrapping your head around graduation and their senior year and all the things. Some of it is personality based. Some of it is socially, like where your kid falls socially for them, even what they want to do. Yeah. But it's a lot. In general, I think even if you have a kid that's not as social as another, it's like there's so many activities, there's so many things going on their senior year. Interestingly enough, for them as a student, they have less going on than ever before as far as academics, FYI.
Yeah.
So it's just
you know what? They need to call senior year gap year.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they do not hardly do anything.
I feel like there needs to be a different path maybe.
Yeah.
But it is an exciting time and it's fun. So I say all that to say that like it's really fun and it's fun celebrating them and their friends and all that kind of thing. But what are some things like maybe just start with like senior year that you like you've learned just with having seniors?
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, it's so different for everybody. Like my boys just weren't.
I feel like it is, but it isn't.
Yeah. But like my boys were, neither one of them were like super involved in school, like sports or anything like that. So for them, like, and also I remember when we were working out one time, our friend was like, oh my goodness, senior year, y'all are going to be so busy. I wasn't. My boys didn't care about all the things that happened at the school.
Right.
Like because the high school has like senior breakfast, which they did do that. They have like all these walkthroughs. They have all this different things that like my boys were like, I don't care. Like I'm not doing that. And that is something that I wasn't willing to make my kids do.
Yeah.
I didn't care either, to be honest. Like I'm happy for them, but like I didn't care about being a part of all that. So again, that's why I say senior year is different for different people and personalities. Because also Micah was just such a different situation than Parker, you know? At our high school, you get like your kids are home all the time of senior year because you get off campus and all that stuff. But I mean, are you talking about just like graduating, like the graduation time? Or are you talking about their whole senior year?
Well, no, I mean, it could be their whole senior year, but there is, no matter even if your kid is not involved in all of those things, there still is more at it. They have to have senior pictures.
Oh, yes.
They have to
Yes.
have all these things completed. They kind of have to be moving
Yes,
in the
they
direction
do.
of college.
Yes.
There
Yeah.
are things that you're thinking about
Yes.
because it's ending a season and starting a different
True,
kind of
and you
season.
cannot end that season until everything's done.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, like Parker had 27,000 missing attendance hours that he had to go
But
do.
the amount of emails that you get and all those kind of things, just finishing up that senior year is a
Mm-hmm.
lot. Now, grad season, like when parties start, and maybe it's where we live, but I actually feel like I've talked to quite a few people, and I don't know if it's as maybe extreme here, or maybe it's extreme other places, but it's a lot.
It's a lot.
And it's so funny because what you do is that you go to these grad parties and you see the same people just in a different environment, celebrating a different kid.
No, you do. And then you're like, why
And
do
they're
we not
back to
all
back to back.
have a grad party together?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you do. And, you know, one thing that you introduced me to is grad parties for us are much more successful on, so you don't conflict with other people's grad parties on like a weekday.
For sure.
We had
Do
multiple
it on
people
a random day.
Monday. Like we had, so we
Yes.
did Parker and Gray's, and then we did Micah's on a Monday. People loved it.
Yes.
They were like, Mondays is the best.
It doesn't conflict with anything else.
Yes.
Sometimes if you're having rentals or anything like that, sometimes it's cheaper.
It is.
On
And
a
it's
weekday.
easier.
Like it's just easier. I think also another thing is if you can combine with someone else, it's a lot
so
better.
much cheaper.
It's so much cheaper and you share the workload. I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Especially if you combine with someone else who has the same friend group.
Yes.
That would be the key.
Yeah.
And then we didn't do that with Micah, but we did do it at Parker and Grayson. It was so much easier.
A lot easier.
And also having grad parties, I personally think simple is better.
I agree.
People do not do that. We did.
Yeah.
And I am so glad. The cleanup was better. The food situation was better. People didn't have as many options. There wasn't 1,000. I don't know. I just
And people
think
just
simple
want
is
to come
better.
and hang out. Like you really are just talking, hanging out, eating, bringing your gift. You
And
know
it's
what I mean?
so frustrating to end up with so much extra food.
Yes.
And to me, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
And honestly, simple is better. I mean, also, I haven't had a girl graduate, so we'll see how that
that's true.
goes. Me personally, when I was growing up, I didn't want like a big, I remember wanting to go to dinner with my family, immediate family for my graduation.
Yeah.
I didn't want, so one of my girls might want that instead of like a
I
party.
actually don't remember like parties like they do.
You had a
now.
big 16
Had a
birthday.
big- yeah, 16th
And I
birthday.
also chose not to do that.
Yeah,
I
but
chose
not,
to have one.
but I don't remember grad parties like this.
Oh no, I don't either.
You know?
Well, it's like what Wade says. Everything is special now that nothing is special.
Yeah.
I'm like,
if
why are we
everything
there-
is special,
Then nothing is special. Like,
Yeah.
why are we celebrating grad parties like
Yeah.
this? It's a little extreme because
Yeah.
then what? Because, and this is what Sam ran into. Sam had a graduation party, an engagement party, a baby shower.
Oh, yeah.
All within 2 years. And then you
Yes.
start feeling bad
Yeah, you do.
because then you invite less and less people to
Yeah.
things and a wedding shower.
Yeah.
And really what I'd rather have people at is my wedding shower.
Yes.
Because that's when I
But
really
now,
need
like,
stuff.
so we've talked about this before on the podcast. Like everything is such a big deal so early. You don't have anything to
Yes.
look forward to.
You don't.
You know? So it's just very interesting.
Yeah. And I think you can still do grad parties, but you need to keep that in mind. Like it doesn't have to be out of this world. It doesn't have to be literally the most expensive thing ever. I mean, it can still be pretty stripped back and easy.
Yes.
And still be special.
Yeah.
Like we paid for like $150. No, I don't even think it was $150. It was like $125 net, volleyball net to put up. It's still in my backyard off Amazon. And it was great.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that, and I think kids played on it. I mean, it wasn't like the best thing ever, but people liked it.
Yes. Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Yeah. With boys, that is kind of something that's a little bit more simple. If you just have some activities like cornhole and spike ball and volleyball and things like that out, or even swimming, like they don't care.
They don't
They
care.
love that,
Yeah.
you know, and then have plenty of food and drinks.
Yeah.
You know, but it doesn't have to be anything special. We've done mini burgers. We've done, you know, what did you do for Micah? You did a root beer float, Coke float.
Root beer, Coke float. That's what Parker had. They
Station.
loved it for the dessert.
We did Round Rock donuts for Sam's.
Yeah.
Like people loved it because it was just different, but that's so simple.
It's so
easy.
simple. It's so easy. It's cheaper. Honestly,
Yes.
it's cheaper. And we did what? We got the little boat things to
plate.
eat in,
Yeah.
boat plates.
Yeah.
Throw your little mini hamburger in there, slider.
Yeah.
Throw a little bag of chips.
Yeah.
Call it a day.
Yes.
People had drinks. They were happy.
Yeah, they
Coke
were.
float afterwards. They were like good to go.
Yes, exactly.
So-
what about like grad gifts?
Yeah, I am still getting the hang of grad gifts. Like, you do it a little more special than I do.
Mm-hmm.
They go to so many grad parties. I'm like, boys, just pick up a gift card on the way and I'll give them.
Yeah.
I pay for it. But then like last year, because Parker and Micah's friends a lot of them graduated last year with Parker.
Mm-hmm.
I did more personal gifts for the girls.
Right.
But you do better with grad gifts than I do.
Well, no, I just think there's all kinds of things you can do. You know, like it's funny. I mean, some people come and their friends literally Venmo them while they're there. Like,
and my
hey,
kids don't care at all.
you.
They're like, yes, that's great.
Yeah, that's great. It's awesome. Venmo them money. So you could go that all the way to like, I think a very personal grad gift is something personalized.
Yeah.
Like monogrammed or whatever. But you know, and then there's layers because it's like you do that for what their 5 closest friends, and then maybe a gift card for the rest or cash or whatever. So there are layers to it. I think when Blake graduated, I bought 43 graduation gifts. I kept
Blake is
track of
probably
it.
the most
Social for sure.
Yes.
And so many friends. I think I bought 43. Now my kids have been in the same school district since they were in like kindergarten.
Yeah.
But so I was like, how can I do this in like a very economical way? And so for the girls that year, I got them all these like hats that had the smiley faces on them from Etsy. And then all the boys, I got them wallets, Herschel wallets, like credit card wallets. And that has kind of been a staple. I do that for a lot of boys.
Yeah.
Because you can get them on Amazon. And then if you want to add something to it, you could put like a DoorDash gift card or their favorite fast food restaurant for college in there. But it's something like a little special. Another thing I've done is the clear umbrellas, especially if they're going to a school that has like sporting events, like football or something like that. Because you can take the umbrella, but you can actually see through it.
Yeah.
So I've did that a few times. I got that idea from somebody. Monogrammed beach towels for the girls. I've done that. I'm trying to think what else. And then obviously for like cousins,
we all spent a little bit more.
Yeah, we spent a little bit more. Yeah. We've done the monogrammed like garment bag. What else? The travel, like a travel case that's monogrammed, like things that they could take to college with them.
Yeah, we've done the monogrammed. Derek he has like a leather engraved monogrammed thing for his AirPod Maxes. So I think we did that for Grayson and Jax last year. This year we did Lawson, and then Micah's girlfriend, we did the journal that I have.
Oh, yeah.
We did a leather journal with their names on it.
Yes.
Because it's refillable, and I think you can do that forever.
Yeah.
Have that forever, whatever that looks like.
I think one of our good friends, she got Sam monogrammed towel set with his initials on them, and I loved that because I thought that was a really sweet. That's
good because also you can use it.
But you can use it. He took it to college and used it, and it was with his school colors.
Yes,
and that's very thoughtful and intentional. You kind of have to know those things. I was trying to think other things.
And then Kimberly Wade got Micah this last year a flag to hang on his wall.
Yeah,
and
that's a great idea
cool, with his initials on it.
Yes, that's a great.
So that's really cool.
Yeah.
I just feel like the monogram thing gets hard because my boys are constantly like, oh, so-and-so, and I don't even know that they're having a party coming up.
Oh,
so you can't get it monogrammed.
I kind of feel like that's like more for like close friends and like cousins or brothers or whatever.
Yes, because I'm like, it's hard to get monogram stuff for people that are like, now last year, I bought these bags from Home Goods actually, and they're refrigerated bags. Yeah, so smaller, so you can put like cold stuff in them. Yeah. But they were so cute, and I put a towel. I put like sunbum.
Yeah, that's cute.
Sunscreen, chapstick in there.
Yes.
And that was the girls' gifts.
Yeah.
Because they were really cute, different colors.
Yes.
And they were not huge, but they were big enough to where you could bring it with you anywhere. But
so, do you and Derek go to every graduation party?
No.
Right. How do you decide?
Sometimes it's different. Well, sometimes the whole family's not invited. Well, it's just a lot of times.
Yes.
It's just
so you do have to pay attention to the invitations.
You do have to pay attention to the invitation. Is your whole family invited? Yeah. And then I have not been to a ton. I mean, it has to be like close.
Yes. Or you're friends with the parents.
Yes. Or we know the parents. Yes.
Yes.
So no, my boys do go to almost all of them. Yeah. But and then, we have a gap between Micah and Anne-Marie now that Micah graduated early. We have like 3 years.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see the wave of girls.
Yes. I was cracking up because like during Blake's grad season. So Tyler, our oldest, did not want a graduation party. Remember, we had one just with family. He did not want a big party. And it was great. It was so cute. Great. And like, honestly, I think then I got so shocked when it was like Blake's turn because he was like, I want one. I don't want to share with anyone. I want all my friends to come. And it was like the biggest, craziest thing ever.
Yeah.
So fun. don't regret it. It just was a lot. So 2 extremes there. But during Blake's grad season, literally Sam was getting invited to every grad party.
Yes.
And it was like they were living their best life, going to every graduation
That's
party
how Parker
there
Micah
was.
were.
Right. And then it was, so to me, like, used to it would be like grad parties are just for seniors and maybe the siblings, whatever, if they go. Like, if the family goes, the family goes. But this is all changed now, right?
Yes.
So it's like all your friends, no matter what grade they're in.
No, Anne-Marie went to them.
Yeah.
Anne-Marie's a freshman. She went to graduation parties this year.
Yes.
To friends from church.
Yeah.
So
Ella asked me the other day, did so-and-so graduate? And I was like, Ella, we were at their grad party.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I was like, do you not remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like something that has just really evolved and changed.
Morphed into something
But
different.
I actually think you can do it and have a really good balance on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we've done both. We've had extreme, like I will say that I feel like Blake's grad season was, he's just like a kid that just has a lot of friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so I literally feel like I had a new wardrobe. I'm like, I keep wearing these same dresses over and over again.
Yeah, that was definitely the most y'all, I feel like, had to attend, went to.
And it was so fun and it was great. And I want to celebrate these kids. Like, it's so fun doing that.
Yeah.
It's just that if you're not prepared for it, maybe these are just little, just to be prepared.
And can I just tell you this too? For anybody out there who feels like they really can't afford gifts for all that, your kid can still go to the party.
Yes.
No one even knows if they buy them a
knows.
gift. Let me tell you something. I don't go through any of those gifts.
Yeah.
Micah goes through them. And we are definitely not being like, well, they came, but they didn't get a gift.
Oh,
no one
Blake
thinks
had like
about
gifts
it.
that we had bought in his car for like a month after the grad party. I'm like, Blake,
I know.
you have to go give, like he would just forget to take it in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you have to go give it to him.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
It doesn't.
I
would
no
rather
idea
you
who
come.
gave stuff
Yeah,
to
I
the
would rather
kids.
you come to the party
And so
because
would
I
the
spend the
person.
money on people coming than feel the obligation of bringing a gift because financially not everyone can do that, and that is A-okay.
Yeah. So do you make your kids do thank you notes for all their gifts?
So Parker did some. And Micah has yet to do them. I did say write it all down. Mm-hmm. And Parker did, I can't remember the ones he did, and I did mail them out. There was one I didn't have the address to, and I like kept forever and finally just threw it away. But he did, I think we mailed out the ones that we had. Micah has yet to do it.
Yeah.
So I really need to make him do it. We just haven't yet.
Yeah. I agree. Like my kids wrote thank you notes. I'm not sure that they hit every single person that they got gifts from, but I was like, you have to at least verbally go up and say thank you. You have to text and say thank you, or write a thank you note.
Yeah.
And it's a lost art as well.
It is a lost art.
Because Mom made us write a thank you card for everything.
Everything. I wrote a thank you card for everything.
Yes, everything.
And we always had our monogrammed little thank you cards. Because
my kids, here's another thing.
Our handwriting is so bad.
No, not just that.
That's embarrassing.
Not just that. They don't know how to address an envelope.
Oh yeah, the schools are missing some stuff right now. My kids don't have You know what? Listen, this is a sad note. My kids don't have a signature. Not one of them even knows what a signature is.
No, neither do mine.
Parker Mills is 19 years old.
Yes.
What do you mean by signature?
Yes.
I don't know how to do a signature.
Grayson, print.
It's print. It is print. And
I'm
it
like,
is
do you
awful.
not know how to sign your name?
It is awful. You know what I want to say? Go sit at home and practice a signature because that's a problem.
Yes. But same thing with if you ever had them address an envelope. They do not know how.
It's terrible.
They don't know where the return address goes.
It's terrible.
They don't. It is absolutely
This is the kind of stuff that we
terrible.
are losing because our kids are like not being taught this, and meanwhile they're being taught math skills that they will never need another day in their life unless they're going to be a chemist or pharmacist. I'm like, what is happening?
And I would say that maybe this one kid doesn't know how to do that. Literally none of my kids know how to do it.
No, not one of
and
my
I'm
kids.
like, is this my fault or is this the school's fault? I don't know.
No, it's
probably
the school's
both.
fault. It is no. It is the school.
Where did
education.
you learn to
For sure, we had
address
to
an
practice
envelope?
that
Me
in
too.
school. Also, how to write a check.
Yes.
No one writes
Same.
checks anymore, but you do have to have a check sometimes.
But also, let's start with the basics. You don't even know how to sign your name.
You don't even know how to sign your name, so you couldn't write a check because you cannot even do a signature.
It's so true.
The signature thing baffles me.
Yes.
It absolutely baffles
Because
me.
you do have to sign things still. Like,
and you have to print, then
Papers,
sign.
yes.
They say you can't print.
no. Well, they do. Because I'm great. I'm like, Grayson, just do a GS. Like Kurt, he's like, I don't know how to do it.
Oh,
I'm
I
like,
can't. Me too. I can't. Y'all, it is absolutely baffling. I'm like, also, P.S., that signature is going to be forever on your marriage license.
Yes.
And it's awful.
I know.
It is awful.
It is.
It's literally like a 5-year-old wrote Parker's name.
I know. They don't know how to do it.
None of them know how to do
I
it.
know. I feel like there does need to be just a class that teaches like
Handwriting,
etiquette,
cursive,
not cursive, just a signature. You don't even have to teach them cursive. Can you just teach them how to sign their name, how to address an envelope, how to return address,
how to write a check,
which, I don't remember the last time I wrote a check either.
Yeah, but if you're in business world, you still pay with checks.
You still need to know how. You still need to know how because they're not like completely gone.
Well, also they're not completely gone. Also, you still have to know how to even date it.
Yes.
And like, there's no way they know how to do the 100 over whatever this is.
Yeah. It's true. But like all of those things, they just don't. There was something else I was thinking of that my kids are just like terrible at that I'm like, you've got to be kidding right now.
The only reason why my kids might know how to address the girls is because I make them help me on my Christmas cards every year.
Yeah. Do they even know where the stamp goes?
No, that's the only reason why. And that's probably Ava May and Advocate because I don't think Anne Marie's ever ironically around when I need help with that.
Yeah.
No.
They don't even know where the stamp
No.
goes.
No. Also, stamps are a little confusing. Sometimes I put them upside down.
Well, okay, but you know what corner they go in, okay? It's like, you can do it. But it's just a lost art. Like, they don't know how to do. Oh, or even like, can we teach them how to do taxes?
Oh, well,
you know what I mean?
Listen, if they can't sign their name, they for sure can't be doing taxes. Let me tell you what industry you should get in. Doing people's taxes.
Yes, exactly.
Start that business.
Yeah.
Because the route our kids are going, they are never going to be able to do their own taxes.
No.
And literally, if Derek and Wade always say this, do a business that nobody else knows how to do or wants to do.
Yeah.
And that's one of them.
And that is never going to go away.
And it's never going to go away.
It's not.
It's not going to go away because let me tell you, no one's ever going to get AI to do their taxes because they try too hard to finagle things.
Yeah.
So you got to personally go in there yourself and figure out how do you get taxes off for this and da 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 da. AI ain't going to do that.
So this is on me. I'm going to go ahead and admit this, but okay, so 2 of my boys are married. And so since the daughter-in-laws have come around, gifts and things like that have gotten so much better. Okay, but have 4 boys. My husband's not the best at gifts.
Yeah.
Good at other stuff, not the best at gifts. And so my boys really have never been that great either. But Sammy and Eden both have just helped with this a ton. Now, Ella, she's a girl, but she's the youngest. So, she's not leading the charge.
Which Sam is a good gift giver, but
he's a good gift giver.
He just has probably never thought about it for his mom.
Right. He's good for the girlfriend and the wife and, those things now.
Yeah.
But he does love giving gifts. So the thing is that the other day, I think Sammy went with Tyler. They picked out Jeremy's Father's Day gifts. And the kids are doing so good. Like, they really are very thoughtful in what they're giving us. And I think
ever since the girls have come to the picture. There's been a drastic difference.
Yes, and love them. I think their intentions are great, but they don't.
They needed some help.
They needed some help.
That's it.
Okay,
That's why we have companions.
But Sammy was like, "Hey, Tyler, I'm gonna let you do the gift wrap and the card. Like, I'm gonna have you do it."
Wow.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't believe
And I hope Tyler doesn't listen to this because I don't want to hurt his feelings.
Why did Sammy think that was a good idea?
Yeah. So one, he got 2 bags that were birthday bags, not Father's Day bags.
Did he mean?
They don't say happy birthday, but they're balloons. Okay, so 2 matching birthday bags. Fine, that's fine. You can get away with that, right? Like, you didn't say happy birthday.
For sure, it's a celebration.
Whatever. He gets the card. He doesn't get an envelope. He said, "I thought it came with it," and she's like, "You have to do it. You have to grab it with the card." So just open willy-nilly card, no envelope. And I was like, this is my fault. This is my fault because I've always done that stuff for them.
Yeah.
I've wrapped every gift for them. I don't think my kids have ever wrapped a gift. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Like, I did think about this. I was like, and I don't know if it's because I had boys or I just wanted to do it or I wanted it to be done a particular way. But you know what? All you young moms out there, teach your kids how to wrap gifts.
Teach your kids
how to buy an envelope and a card.
Teach your kids how to wrap a gift. Go ahead and work with them right now on their signatures.
Yes.
Teach them how to write a check at the age of 5. Those are the things they need to actually know. Again, let's do one class.
Yeah.
Let's bring back home ec. But
seriously,
you know what? It's not home ec like back in the day when I took it in middle school, where I learned how to make. I think I learned how to make like moose munch or something.
Yeah. No, you did.
It's actually different now because that's the kind of stuff that they don't know. I don't know if my boys. So we do sibling gifts for Christmas, and so they have wanted to wrap before. Derek can't even wrap. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'm not talking about wrap a box. I mean, that was just bags and tissue paper, you know what I mean? And he did okay. He did.
My girls can wrap.
Guy, it looked like a boy. Like it was. It just really it was the envelope with the card that I'm like, you got to grab the envelope when you grab the
He
card.
he said when he got home, he rode that car. He said, "Where's all?"
I know. I'm like, you have to grab it.
"Where's all?"
It does come with it, but you got to grab
First
it.
of all, you just got okay. If he thought the card came with an envelope, was it in a plastic thing? Maybe
No.
It had to have been. Maybe it was
No.
one of those cards that was a plastic
No.
thing.
Also, I think your cashier should help you.
Because if it's in a
they're
plastic
just
thing, it
scanning the
does-
card and there's no envelope, you should say, "Excuse me, did you want the envelope?"
But if your card comes with plastic, it does come with the envelope
It
in the
does,
plastic thing.
right.
So,
So
that
that's
means he
confusing.
physically chose a card,
Yeah.
didn't get the envelope,
No.
and didn't put that card back
No.
because he thought,
Yes,
Tyler.
Yes, but I
Ultimately,
feel
he
like
just doesn't care.
But I really feel like all my boys probably would have done that. I don't know if any of them know, but I'm like, it's on me. I totally admit it. Like
Yeah.
it is on me. I did that too much of that stuff probably for them.
for sure, I've done the same thing.
You know
There's
what I
things
mean?
too much of cleaning that I've done for them that they don't know how to clean. They don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah. So anyway, but anything else with grad season that you can think of?
I mean, no, I do think that I think anybody who has younger kids just know that it's not when your kid goes to college when they kind of like are not around as much as when they get their license. So I feel like it's interesting because I feel like they get their license at 16. That's when they're not around as much. And it kind of gives you that buffer years before they leave for college to already kind of be getting in that mode of them being gone more.
Independent, yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you're kind of like, oh, well, so when they leave for college, it's not like drastically different, you
Yeah.
know? But no, I mean, I just think graduation is a sweet season. I personally could care less to ever go to another graduation in my life.
I know.
If I'm honest.
I mean,
I
will
don't,
say
maybe
we-
college graduation.
Yeah, we just
That's
went to
different.
Blake's and it was
Yeah,
great. But
that's
he went to a
different.
small school. I mean, smaller than his high school. So
Yeah. I just don't feel, I feel like graduation, actual high school graduation, if your kid goes to a large school, let me
Yeah.
say that. If it's a small school,
And
it's
it
not as
is
big of a
very
deal.
interesting because it's like, honestly, college graduation is such a bigger deal.
And it's not as celebrated. It's
No,
very
it
interesting.
really is
It's
not.
not. And I'm just like, freaking high school graduation. I'm like, I don't know any of these kids. I really don't. Also made it worse because I really didn't know any of them this year because Mike went to school with these kids that are graduating in a year.
Right.
So all the kids
'cause he graduated
because he
early.
graduated early.
Yeah.
So all the kids he graduated with were not the kids that we know because we
Yeah.
didn't grow up with them. And so
Oh, yeah, I bet that was different too.
and yes,
Yeah.
it just made it not as special. But I will tell you this. My girls sat through Mike's graduation, and I'm pretty sure that every single one of them were like, we got in the car and they're like, we don't care to ever do that.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't care. And you know, here's the other thing. I want to say this. I do think a lot of moms hang on to some things too much.
Right.
And I think some of you are probably saying, how could you not care? It's really not that big of a deal. It's just not. Now, if my kid cares, I'm going to care.
Yeah.
I'm going to celebrate them if they
Yeah.
care. Micah wanted to walk. We went.
Yeah.
Of course, we're going to care. We went to dinner before. We made it fun.
Yeah.
But my point is like, don't hang on to things like all these years. Some of you listen who have like toddlers. Don't hang on to everything.
Yeah.
And not everything has to be a big thing.
Yeah.
Not everything has to be emotional. Not everything has to be this like celebration.
Yeah.
And so I do think that sometimes we as parents hang on to like certain things and we can't let go of it.
Yeah.
And guess what? If your kid doesn't care, don't care.
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
Yeah.
It doesn't change anything. Mike is still going to college, even if he wasn't. It doesn't mean that we don't celebrate what he's done.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't matter. So like a freaking high school graduation, I'm not trying to be mean, people. But,
Yeah.
I mean, walking.
Sam chose not to go to his graduation because he was starting his internship in Miami. And I remember being just like kind of bummed about like pictures and like with his friends and stuff. And I recently just asked him, do you regret not going to your high school graduation? So he's been graduated 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, not one bit.
Especially not because he came as out at Micah's.
Yeah. He was like, not one bit. I do not regret that at all. I
No.
feel like I got the full experience of everything that I needed. And so it's just, you know, again, I get it if you're a little bit disappointed because I was too.
Yeah,
I was
I
a little
think that's
bummed.
different. Yes.
But I
Just
also
don't hang on to it.
was like, Jeremy was like, Ashley, it's fine. Like he does not want to do it. And some things you make your kids do because you feel like
For
they
sure.
need to.
It's worth it.
But, and if there would have to be like, I do think there would have to be like either they're going to be out of town or like our boys missed it
Yes.
because graduation got moved because they were flying out to go somewhere. Like it would have to be those type of circumstances. If we're just here,
I don't
I'm
know.
probably gonna say you
I
need
don't
to
know.
do
I
graduation.
probably wouldn't, if I'm being honest.
But that's just different
But it's
personalities.
just different people. I went to Micah's. Now, I'm going to say this. They didn't have Micah's at the high school this year. Normally they have at the high school. They couldn't because they're redoing the stadium. I think it would have been better if it was at the stadium.
Yeah.
I think it would have been more fun. I think it would have been more personable. I don't know. It just would have been a little
Oh
different.
yeah, and I did think it's something that we do. Go ahead though.
No, all I'm saying is like, I don't think it's a hill you need to die on if your kid doesn't care.
Yeah.
I mean, even Parker said, walking out of Micah's graduation, he said, because they didn't get to walk.
Yeah.
And he's like, I was totally fine not walking. He said, but even coming to Micah's, I do think walking, there is something about it, there's closure in it.
Yeah.
He said that is the only thing that I wish like I missed on.
Yeah.
But to me, and it was fun and it was exciting. And Mike was in his cap and gown and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So I loved that part of it. But I also am just like, it doesn't, like if one of my kids just adamantly doesn't want to do it, depending on what the motivation is, I probably wouldn't make them.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Let's go do something else. Now, I still would want a celebration of some sort.
Yes, and we did that with Sam too. Yeah.
Yes, we would still want a celebration of some sort. It's not going to be like graduated, done, womp womp.
You're just talking about the actual graduation.
Actual walking is what I just
So the other thing I was going to say is because we have such a big family and we have so many kids, we do not ask extended family to go to graduation.
No.
We only have our immediate family go, Jeremy and I and their siblings, and we do not ask grandparents. I'm like, we do want them to come to the grad parties to celebrate them, which is a better environment.
Yeah.
But that expectation, none of us do that.
No, we don't. And to
Like
be
if
honest,
they want to come, they can. They're not excluded.
Yeah.
It's just that like we don't say like
we're just way too logical and practical of
so
a family. And our practicality is this. Don't waste 4 hours of your time at this graduation. Just
That's-
don't. It's
yes.
boring.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
we'll celebrate.
We'll
you know,
celebrate them.
at the
Yes.
parties and
that's
that
right.
kind of thing. And honestly, my daddy's 75 and such great health, all those kind of things. But I think he's so thankful that none of us do
really
that.
push that.
No, we don't.
We don't.
Yeah.
We don't push that. We've never pushed that. And so it's just something that to me, also at our kids' school, you only get a limited number of tickets.
You do.
So
And that
in
fills
our
our
family,
entire
that
family.
fits our entire family. So our family's so big, it's like you don't really get. You're not able to invite anybody.
Yeah.
But no, we don't. And it was so sweet. I thought it was so sweet. Sam came to my graduation. His youth pastor came. Like different people came. It was so sweet. Like on their own. I was like, that is so kind. And it did mean a lot. But I don't expect that.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. We're a little bit different when it comes to stuff like that. But
Yeah.
and if you want to make it a big deal, that's great too. Make it a big deal.
Yeah.
Celebrate your kid. That is amazing.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that either. It's just if you don't want to make it a big deal, you don't have to. Is all I'm saying.
Sure.
I really like to like release people from things.
Yes.
So
Okay.
anyways.
Last thing. So it doesn't have to do with graduation or swimming, but what is like the number one thing you're looking forward to this summer?
This summer,
Yeah.
oh gosh, I would say, but it's kind of 1 and 2. I'm excited because in a couple weeks we have Wave Conference, which is a student conference at our church, which we're not students, but we volunteer. And then we go straight from that to the beach.
I am so excited about that. I would say that's my same.
Literally, like I cannot wait.
I am just, and I think all the kids are excited. Every time I'm around the cousins and my own kids and my daughter-in-laws, like they're all like, I just can't wait for the beach. I just can't wait for the beach. We're so excited about the beach. So I'm looking forward to that too.
I'm too. And that is one reason why, at least right now, I like that we've pushed the beach back because a lot of people are looking forward to it.
Well, practically our whole family's involved in Wave. So
Yes.
it's going to be a great time
is.
having it after.
It is going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that. But really quick, confession of the week. I have a confession.
Oh, good.
I don't
I'm
know
so
if
glad
you do.
I don't. So
Okay.
it's all you today. I'll do July.
Okay. So here's my confession of the week, really quick. Confession of the month, actually, because we're not doing weekly podcasts. Really quick.
Yeah.
My confession of the month is and I actually told my kids this and Derek is I feel, and I think I've told you this, I feel like I am a very good mom when it comes to following through with threats.
Yeah.
And I have failed miserably at my kids keeping their rooms clean. And my mom would fall out if she saw what my girls' room looked like last week. And our girls were working kids camp and our puppy went upstairs. So I was like, Rufus, come here. And he would not come down here. And he doesn't go upstairs very much. So I was like, what is he doing? I go up there. It's not the hallway, by the way. If you just walked in the hallway and the doors were shut, everything looks perfectly clean. their room and bathroom, because the girls share a bathroom, was like the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Like Anne Marie's room. Sorry, Anne Marie, but you know what? Not sorry. Yeah. Because this seems to be a theme with her. It was like a bomb went off. You could not walk without stepping on something. There was clothes, trash, drinks everywhere, which girls, ladies, and gentlemen, I have told her so many times, do not bring another drink upstairs. Yeah. She has. I was like, you could not open the door to their bathroom because there was clothes covering the floor.
How did they even take a shower?
It was shocking. Ava Mae and Abby Kate's room wasn't as bad as Anne Marie's. Yeah. It was shocking. I was like, but it was still bad. I was shocked. I was like, oh my, I failed. I have literally failed because you guys know this. I've said I don't go upstairs because then I get so angry. Yeah. And then I lose my everlasting mind. I failed as a mom. My mom would have never allowed even a pin to be on the floor, much less that. It looked like a tornado went off in their room. It was unbelievable. So I will say that I texted them and I said, you're going to come home from camp. I said, you are not allowed to eat. You are not allowed to shower until everything is done. And when I say everything, it was actually a week from today. It was a week ago. I said, you're cleaning, you're scrubbing your toilets. You're not just picking up, you're vacuuming.
They're deep cleaning.
Deep cleaning. And then I said, I'm checking your room. And guys, y'all got to hold me to it. I've already checked it yesterday. I have to actually go up there. I've said, beds are made every day. I've told them this so many times. Yeah. They do not do it. Finally, I'm checking. I have to be held accountable.
Have they done better?
Yes.
Good.
I was so surprised yesterday. So much better. So much better. Beds were made. And then I even said, none of this halfway making your beds. Like pillows that I spent money on are going on your beds. Blankets that are ugly, I will throw them out if they're on your bed.
Right.
Like those go in a trunk at the end of your bed. So much better. But literally it's a good thing they weren't home. Yeah. Because I wasn't able to lose my mind on them.
I always feel like there's the beginning of summer with kids, especially if they're in school and then back home, there's always this adjustment period. Yeah. Of they can be busy with things, but also they're home a lot. Yeah. And so it's an adjustment of chores and what they need to be doing. And are we sitting around all day? And are we whatever? So I feel like that was just your entry into.
Pretty sure it was just my adjustment from the years past of being terrible at following through with the room situation. Yeah. I actually think that I have failed I will say it. I don't care to confess. I have failed in the area of making sure my kids keep their room clean, beds made. Because
they knew that, so they
took advantage. And for my sanity, I did it because my relationship with my children is better. But then I'm starting, and I literally told the girls this. I said, I want you to one day be able to keep a house clean. Yeah. And be a mom and a wife and be able to know how to keep a house clean. Yeah. This isn't going to do it.
Well, it's true. Sometimes in college, girls' places are way dirtier and messier than boys. And you think opposite, but.
Yeah. And so I'm literally we're not doing it. We're not doing it. And so my boys don't keep their room clean either. Actually, I texted Parker because Mike is gone right now. And I was like, hey, you're 19 and I do not want to give you a punishment for this, but I'm going to if you don't figure it out with your room. But so that's my confession of the month. I'll give y'all an update in a month to see if I've actually gone upstairs. I've made myself go upstairs, and it's not been easy, but I've done it. So anyways, there you go.
Sometimes the confessions are good because then we just
hold each other
reroute. And we just get back on.
We do. We do. So don't, it is what it is. But anyways, all right. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this. Yes. I hopefully we'll do a quick little turnaround of posting it pretty quick. Yeah. And we'll be back in July. We'll be back in July, probably the very end, but we'll be back.
Bye.
Bye.